So as many Criterion Collection titles as I own, you'd think I'd have a whole bunch of them on this list, but just going to be one. I was going to put none on because I wanted to keep it not about Criterions, but I'm going to put one on. I think it's sort of unique. Plus, I think I get the best deal on this of any Criterion I've ever gotten. And I'm talking about Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. You know, the cover itself is cool, but I loved this on the packaging. So I took it and stuck it permanently to this. I see no reason to ever take it off. I'm not going to resell it. I just think it looks best like this. So I took my time, put it in where I thought was the best spot, and I can't remember if I glued it or what I did. I think I could take it off if I wanted. I think it's taped on, but it's taped on really well. It's not going to go anywhere. So, and I really love the look of this with this on it. So, Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman. The same actor played this part for the entirety of, I can't remember how many movies are in here. There's a ton of them. Feature length. And 25 movies. And he's in every single one of them. Amazing. Now, the reason I got such a good deal on this was I bought this set for, I believe it was $120. I think it was $240, if I'm remembering right. Barnes & Noble, half price, $120. It might not have been quite that. But I think with tax and everything, it was $120. And so after I got it, of course, it came with the Blu-ray and the DVDs. What you had is the Blu-ray on this side, and then this opens up, and inside you had the oh, where are they? I'll tell you where they are. I sold the DVDs from this set. I didn't really see a reason to have both. I mean, I have some sets that have both in them, but I guess the DVD is good if I want to travel with the DVD or loan it out. Why would I loan it out? So what I did was I took all the DVDs out and I sold them without the case. I just put them in plastic sleeves and sold them to a woman who wanted to get it for her husband, but couldn't spend the $220. It was after the Barnes & Noble sale, or $240, whatever it was. And I sold her the DVDs on eBay, and she was thrilled. They'd never been played, for $90, which she was happy with. So basically, I picked up this set for $30, which is why it's so great. And I have not done anything yet. I'm thinking about putting some images in here. Putting something in here, some sort of information or something. I just have, some sort of index cards or something. I just haven't done anything with it. So, but it still fits great in there when you add the book. It's not as thick as it would have been or as heavy, obviously. It's missing like, 24 times 2, 48 discs that were in there. But I kept the Blu-ray and I kept the book, and each movie has some beautiful artwork, and each movie that has the cast of characters and the summary. And of course, Zatoichi is played by Shintaro Katsu in every movie. So, and there's an article here in the front, as they always have it's called On the Road with Zatoichi. He is blind and he is a swordsman. Kind of an unassuming dude. I guess if you're blind, you would be unassuming, wouldn't you? But kind of an unassuming dude, and just kind of goes across the country. Sometimes he's more vengeful than others, but a lot of times he's looking for work. Or it kind of reminds me a little bit, not a lot, but of Kung Fu, but really like the Zatoichi movies. And I haven't hardly put a dent in these, but the ones I've watched, I've loved. So that is one of my favorites. I'm happy to have that in my collection. And it sits next to my television set, so every time I watch TV, I see the side of it. Occasionally, I'll just pick it up and look at it. It's just that beautiful of a set. Okay, this next one has the distinction of being the absolute heaviest box set in my collection by a lot. Any idea what it could be? Superhero related, I'll tell you that. If I said no tights and no flights, would that help you out? Maybe. Another television one. And this one I got on sale because I never would pay the price that they were asking for it. But I'm so glad I have it. And a lot of people complain that you can't get these discs out without scratching them. I say baloney. You know, not what you're doing. But here's Smallville, the complete series on DVD. Very heavy set. Comes with a ton of extras. Here's the back. This really is heavy, by the way. I loved this series when it was on. I think you were either a fan of it or you were not. I was. And yeah, here's the first part. and each one of these, this can come out a lot easier than people think. It doesn't come out easily unless you know what you're doing. If you go to where the number is here, and if you can see this, if you see what I'm talking about here, this actually will come apart. And it'll go right back together too. You could take it and run your finger across here and pull that disc out, and you won't have any problems. This whole thing will separate. It's designed actually quite nice, and this will actually come back in to see. I don't know if you can see this, but see this white part right here. See how it separates right there a little bit. See how it's separating one from the other. I don't know if you can see that right there, and then it goes back. It separates and comes back. So, and each one of these you can do the same thing from either direction, and open it. But let me show you this though. This heavy books in here. Beautiful artwork, matte finish on it. And some of these images, iconic images from the series. If you never saw this series, it was great. The idea was here's Clark Kent with his superpowers that he's just discovering. Lex Luthor and his dad. And for the first season was a lot of like the kryptonite affected monster of the week. Somebody who got impacted by the same meteor storm that carried Kal-El to Earth. And he tried to play football. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Lana Lang, pretty hot. Lois Lane, hotter. Oh yeah. Yeah. Beautiful women on this show. Yep, that's Will You Marry Me? That's Lex Luthor, LexCorp. Rule the world. Beautiful, beautiful set. He only wears the costume in the very last episode. The costume. Though he does have some other stuff he wears. He seems to be fond of red and blue throughout the entire series. So you'll see him in blue shirts and red shirts and throughout the whole thing. Not always, but often, especially in the latter parts of the series. I don't remember how many seasons this ran, but it was a bunch. Maybe 10, 11? 11 comes to mind. 11, and all the discs are here, and they are beautiful. No, it's not Blu-ray, but you know what? There's a beautiful episode guide. There's a reprint of what looks like a paper. This may be my favorite thing I've got, just because of the cost and the quality of the way they put this thing out with the book. And it was just really quality. Yeah, his Supergirl made an appearance. His cousin. I gotta rewatch this. I'm just looking through this and thinking about all the great stuff. Yeah, it had Doomsday in it, but it's not like the one you were thinking of. See, he had sort of a costume, but not like you'd think. Not till the very end. Lois and Clark. Christopher Reeve made an appearance in this also. Iconic images. He was a scientist in this. It was in a wheelchair, of course. Obviously before he died. I'm surprised there's not any pictures of him in here. I didn't see any. He was in mainly the first season, I think. I mean, the first half of the set. First 5 seasons. At one point, they had kind of a Justice League deal going on with Aquaman and Green Arrow and a couple others. Don't remember who all of them were. Really great stuff, though. And yeah, no costumes, no flying. He only flew in, I think, 1 or 2 episodes, and that was kind of a. Well, he had to. I think it was red kryptonite that impacted him, and that's why he flew. He didn't normally fly. And the producer said no flights and no tights. I think he flew in the last episode, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I watched it. It was on years ago. I just seen if I don't think there was a picture of Christopher Reeves in here, which is too bad. But he's certainly in it. Great set. And it's my heaviest set and maybe one of my favorites. I mean, it just is so unique. I've kept it really nice. It's a beautiful looking set. And heavier than hell. That's Smallville, the complete series. If you haven't watched it, You really should. All right. That's it for that one. I'm winding down here, guys. I don't know. I guess I showed 10 or so things. I have lost track of how many I've shown. I have to count, but quite a few. But I can't finish without doing 2 more, and then I think I'm good. First, the Alfred Hitchcock collection, the Masterpiece collection. I like this one because it's got the UK one. This is the American one. The UK one I didn't like as much because it leaves off North by Northwest, I think, which to me is a great one. I won't leave that off. Comes with a great book, pretty thick, The Master of Suspense, which has got pictures and stuff about every movie in here in the set. And there's a bunch of movies in here. I have never really counted them, but there's a bunch. Yeah. Saboteur, Rope. The one thing about this set that these pages tend to stick together a little bit. I had to do some fixing to fix the disc because they wanted to slide down through what was an opening here. I put some tape on it, and I'm fine with all that. Shadow of a Doubt. I love that movie. If you haven't watched it, I love that movie. Rope, I mentioned. What else is in here? I'll go through all of them. I guess it won't take me but a minute. Rear Window, great movie. The Trouble with Harry. Flipping here. The Man Who Knew Too Much. This is the James Stewart version. There's one with Peter Lorre that's not here. Vertigo, classic. North by Northwest, the one that's not on the UK version. Psycho. What can I say about Psycho? Movie that scared the shit out of me as a kid. I saw it in the theater. And you know what? This movie I think is still scary, and that is The Birds. It was scary because it could happen. You know, it's like, why don't the birds attack us? If they all got together, couldn't they do some damage? Marnie. Don't piss off the birds. Torn Curtain. Topaz. Frenzy. And finally, Family Plot, which is the last one on here, I believe. Yeah, because I know that because it says the end.